The Eastern Cape has some of the most breathtakingly beautiful and diverse natural attractions in South Africa. But these expansive landscapes are linked together by a network of the country's deadliest roads. We're on our way to South Africa's most dangerous road, which has become known as the Road of Death. The road stretches 230 kilometers between East London and Mthatha in the Eastern Cape, and last year claimed at least 90 lives. Paramedics witness tragedy on a daily basis, and through their careers have learned how unforgiving the roads can be.
A lot of our accidents we'll go to, the cars are totally unroadworthy. And I mean, they'll be driving at 100, 120 km an hour on a national road and have a blowout. I mean, it's because the vehicle wasn't checked properly, and people driving reckless, overtaking, alcohol. It's a big no-no when it comes to the roads, and the guys just don't care. I've had an accident on the N6. It was a school bus. There were 16 kids in the school bus. Not one kid survived. And the City Golf overtook the truck, didn't see the school bus, head on with the school bus, and all 16 kids died, including the teacher. But that just wasn't, that was decapitations, limbs ripped off, that was kids cut in half. That's been my worst.
The road is followed closely in terms of fatalities by the stretch between Mthatha and Kokstad, last year claiming 77 lives. Clearly there's a problem, but what's causing it and how can it be solved?
There are always a multitude of causes related to any traffic crash, but the fundamental blame for things going on all across South Africa's roads, not just in the Eastern Cape, is that the government hasn't clamped down on the way drivers drive, and it hasn't provided the infrastructure necessary for them to use roads safely.
The challenge that we still have is that, in every route where the road infrastructure is perfect, people tend to be tempted to drive at a higher speed. But when you see that the road is a little bit bad, people don't drive at high speed. So that's the challenge we have for the N2. Because of the infrastructure that has been put by government over the recent past, you find that people are driving, at 200 kilometers per hour, or sometimes at 150 kilometers per hour, and that is risky.
You know how drivers' behavior has really declined. People don't have respect. Where there is issues of roads that is in a bad condition, we have to accept on a backlog of 12 billion rands on roads maintenance. Yes, you're going to have roads that's in a bad condition, but I think the mutual impact and the knowledge of that needs to be translated back to drivers, and drivers' behaviors needs to change.
A major concern is the small amount of visible policing on the roads to prevent reckless driving. MEC Thandi Marawu has put into place Operation Asihleki, which states that traffic officers must pull over at least 15 people in an 8-hour shift. But is this enough?
That 15 is reasonable in terms of our own standards.
Remember, it says over 15 vehicles per day. So there's going to be days where that traffic officer did no law enforcement, but the standard has been set. So the next day it's catch-up time.
They remember, these people are not only going to be doing the stops and checks. Those people must be doing other operations like your visibility operations, like your patrols and all that. So you don't just stop and the whole shift will be sitting under a tree.
Last year's road fatality figures for the Eastern Cape were horrific, and one would have expected the authorities to have clamped down over the festive season. But this didn't seem to be the case. According to the Road Traffic Management Corporation statistics, the Eastern Cape placed 6th in the country in terms of vehicles stopped to be checked. In addition, no fines were given for backseat passengers not wearing their seatbelts, in comparison to 1,071 in the Western Cape. And perhaps an even worse statistic, not a single vehicle was impounded over the entire festive season.
No, I totally disagree with that. In this province, I can show you I've got records of vehicles that were discontinued. Another challenge that we have is the is the quality of vehicles that are using our roads. Other vehicles are really unroadworthy. Even the quality of drivers we have. Some of the people are driving, and we still find people who are driving on our roads without documentation, without driver's licenses. Others, we know that we have another challenge in the province where we've got about more than 40 driver's licenses that we've identified, that we suspect to have been issued fraudulently. So we have got about more than 40,000 people who are driving around the Eastern Cape who are not capable enough.
I think the most important thing we need to look at from a road safety point of view is obviously improving the licensing system. The license test is more or less out of date. We also need to look at enforcement, which is currently used as a means to generate revenue rather than as a means to improve road safety. If we could redirect our priorities towards the offences which are known to be involved in fatal crashes, we would see an improvement there. And then we need to look at the spending on road safety development. We need to spend more money on improving our roads, and we need to look at other areas of road infrastructure development.
With funds shifting from road maintenance to other areas and roads becoming undrivable, the government has realized the need for additional funds. Tolling has been cited in various provinces as the answer, but has also encountered fierce debate with claims of corruption and the fact that it would operate as a direct tax. Many people are feeling let down by the government, especially farmers.
The government doesn't want to come to the party to assist the farmers in getting things organized. To assist us to get our road structure fixed up so that we don't worry about roads and to get our product to the markets.
Ezra Skumbi is a cattle farmer in Salem, and farmers like Ezra need to transport their cargo across what are known as main gravel roads, district gravel roads, and minor gravel roads before they get to national and regional roads to deliver their produce. Minor gravel roads are those leading to the farms from the district gravel roads and are maintained by the farmers themselves. District gravel roads, however, are maintained by the municipality, but due to budget constraints are in a state of disrepair and therefore damage vehicles and their precious produce. Even if the farmer wanted to repair the district gravel roads at their own expense, they are realistically unable to do so.
Now the problem is, if you drive on my farm road on the farm, I'm public liability. I've got public liability that covers if you're involved in an accident. But as soon as you go off my property onto a district road, then that's not my property anymore. So it's a property of the government, of Department of Public Roads. And if you have an accident there, then you can claim against me if I work on that road. I mean, I know of at least 4 farmers that had to stop milk farming because of the quality of the road. The dairies that they're delivering to doesn't want to come and collect the milk on the farm anymore. We need all support we can get. You know, we don't want to go drastic issues by blocking off N2s and get you guys with your normal car driving these roads of us. Doesn't matter whatever you use, you need road infrastructure to wherever you want to go. And if that is falling apart, eventually it will come down, your country will go.
The main problem is definitely that funding has been allocated to other areas, and the money has come from money that was previously allocated to infrastructure. So over the past 10 to 12 years, the government has actually done itself a disservice by focusing on social grants rather than on infrastructure development, because it's lost out on the opportunity to create better quality of life and higher taxation revenue.
This department is one of the key role players when it comes to revenue collection in this province. But unfortunately, that money goes to education, health, and other service delivery priorities of government. Most of that money comes from the traffic fines, the registration of vehicles, and all that. But unfortunately, we don't get rewarded for that. That's the unfortunate part of it. It's out of our control at this stage, but we constantly raise it within government.
The solution is we need to take the money that is available, and there is plenty of it, and we need to allocate it properly. We need to ensure it's not stolen by corrupt officials. We need to ensure that the state is getting best value for that money, and we need to ensure that once the roads have been built, they're looked after and properly maintained so we get a proper return on our investment.